Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you 4 MLB bets to hammer for today, Saturday, April 22nd. Hopped on OddsJam, liked what I saw, got 4 total bets for you guys to lock in today. Before I get into it, would appreciate those of you watching if you could like, comment, and subscribe. And then, of course, hit me up at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here, right below my video. So for today's 4 bets, I got 3 plus money bangers, 2 pitcher props, 1 no-run first inning, and 1 team total. Let's get right into it. Play number 1, Hayden Wisniewski over 5.5 strikeouts. That is at plus 172 odds at FanDuel. So a very nice plus money banger on this one. This I put 3/4 of a unit on. So for me, that is $75. For you at home, whatever 3/4 of a unit is what I would recommend putting on this one. Number 1, the reason why this play is positive expected value is because of these no vig odds that you see right here. So OddsJam calculates odds from all of the sharpest sportsbooks in the world, puts them together, removes the vig, and then uses a weighted average to spit out these no vig odds here, which, as we can see, price it all the way at plus 158, basically plus 159. Well, we're getting that like 13 cents higher at plus 172. That's a really good price that FanDuel is giving us on this play. Equates to a profit margin of above 5%, which is just insane, the value we are getting on this play. Now, the risk here and the reason why this play is all the way up at plus 172 odds is because Hayden Wisniewski, the Cubs pitcher, has a large ERA, like in the 6, going against the Dodgers, who are a really good team. But here's the thing. The reason why this is a play, A, it's positive expected value. That's obviously the most important thing. B, the Dodgers strike out a ton. As good of a batting lineup they are, they strike out a ton. They're tied for 3rd in the entire MLB in terms of strikeouts, specifically against right-handed pitchers, which is what Hayden Wisniewski is. Now, if you extrapolate that out to strikeouts per game, they're 4th in the MLB in terms of strikeouts per game against right-handed pitchers. They just struck out 13 times yesterday against a right-handed pitcher against the Cubs. So this guy might get dinged up, might only last 4 innings, but in those 12 outs, he could still get 6 strikeouts because of how often the Dodgers strike out. They're a very, very heavy strikeout team, despite also being a really good hitting team. John Hyslop says it best. Either strike out, hit a home run, or GTFO, and that's pretty much what the Dodgers do. So I really, really do like this play. Hayden Wisniewski over 5.5 strikeouts, plus 172 odds at FanDuel. That is play number 1. Play number 2. If you let me scroll down a little bit, we are locking in the Colorado Rockies team total under 5.5, minus 110 odds at FanDuel. So this one is another good play that I do really like. OddsJam perfect line pricing this at about minus 112. FanDuel giving it to us at minus 110. So the gap between those two numbers, again, is where your profitability comes into play. Now, for plays like this, I really do like to look and see if I am truly betting on an outlier or not compared to the sharp sportsbooks. Now, an easy way to do that, to confirm whether you are or not, just click View Event Page, open it up in a new tab, and it pulls up the screen that you see here, which is just the market that we looked into, the team total market. What you want to do is click Show No Vig Odds, this button right here. And what it does is it removes the vig from both sportsbooks, from both sides of the line, for each sportsbook. So remember, we locked it in at minus 110. We want to make sure, do the odds of the bet that we are placing beat the no vig odds of the majority of the sharp sportsbooks? In this case, the answer is yes, 3 for 3. Pinnacle prices this no vig line at minus 119. Another sharp sportsbook prices this no vig line at minus 118. Circa Sports, minus 111. Every single sportsbook, the sharp ones that prices this play, has their odds set above the minus 110 that we locked in at FanDuel, which means that it is a good play. Now, the Rockies obviously don't hit nearly as well on the road as they do at home. They scored 3 runs yesterday, but all of those were in the first inning, were shut out the rest of the game. The game before that, they put up 2 runs in the first inning and then put up 5 total, so barely would have hit this over. The risk here is that the Phillies have a new pitcher on the mound starting for the first time this year. He hasn't had great success in the MLB so far, but in the minors, he's done a little bit better. And he's getting a pretty good matchup to go against the Rockies for his first start of the year. So this play, I put a full unit on, 1 unit on the Colorado Rockies team total under 4.5, -110 odds at FanDuel. Next up, play number 3, I found using the OddsJam arbitrage page. So arbitrage, the strategy of it is betting both sides to guarantee profit, but you can also use arbitrage page to find profitable bets in general. Generally, if two sportsbooks are so misaligned that you can literally bet both of them to guarantee profit, the most likely scenario is that one of them is a discrepancy between the majority of sportsbooks, which creates an opportunity for us. So the play here is we're staying in the Rockies versus Phillies game, and we are betting on no run first inning, +140 odds at bet365. So again, here's my second plus money banger, my third play of the video. This one I recommend putting, again, 3/4 of a unit on, so 0.75 units. Now this is a really, really good play from a math perspective. Let's view the event page, open it in a new tab. What we see here is when you remove the VIG, so we locked it in at +140. Let's look at the sharp sportsbooks. Pinnacle, +129. Circa Vegas, very, very sharp sportsbook. We just added those odds, almost as sharp as Pinnacle, +133. Circa Sports, a different company, very sharp, not as sharp as Circa Vegas, still sharp, +124. The only other sportsbook that prices it above is at +141. But then look at every other sportsbook with their VIG removed. +113, 35, +128, +118, +123, 27, 23, blah, blah, blah. As we see, literally every single sportsbook except for one has their no VIG odds priced below the +140 number, which means that it's a really, really good bet for us. Now, the risk here is the Rockies have scored a combined 5 runs in the first inning in the past 2 games. So they are obviously hot in the first inning. What I will say is that even with those 5 total runs in the first inning, the Rockies are still a bottom half team in first inning scoring. And again, that includes the past 2 games. Now, the Phillies bats have been completely shut out the past 2 games in the first inning. They just really can't seem to get it together. The Rockies have their one decent pitcher on the mound, Kyle Freeland, on the bump for today. So there is a little bit of risk, obviously, with the Rockies, again, scoring 5 combined in the past 2 innings. The Phillies are generally a good first inning team, but they just haven't recently. But that's why we're getting it for +140 odds. We're locking in 4 plays. No matter how you slice it, if we go 2 and 2, we will be profitable. And that's the beauty of betting +140, of betting +172. So play number 3, 0.75 units on Rockies versus Phillies. First inning total runs under half, +140 odds at bet365. And then my last play of the video I found using the OddsJam low holds page. We are locking in Garrett Whitlock to go over 5.5 strikeouts, +122 odds at FanDuel. So again, this is a good play from a value perspective. No book prices this above +110. FanDuel is giving it to us at +122. Garrett Whitlock is a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, right-handed pitcher, going up against the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, I mentioned earlier how often the Dodgers strike out against right-handed pitchers, like 3rd most in the MLB, tied for 4th most in strikeouts per game. Well, the Brewers are one of the few teams that strike out even more against right-handed pitchers than the Dodgers. They strike out the 2nd most, both total and 2nd most in strikeouts per game. So no matter how you slice it, the Brewers strike out a ton. So Garrett Whitlock is a little bit of a better pitcher than the guy we're backing on the Cubs. And it's another plus money banger, obviously not as high as the other ones, but I still recommend putting 0.75 units on this one. And that's going to be it. So 4 total picks for you guys to lock in 3 plus money bangers. If you're tailing, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to like and subscribe. Hit me up at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here, and have a good one.